Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Wednesday, October 28th, 2020. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful day. Enjoyed those nice, sunny, warm day here in the city of Fitchburg and across Wisconsin. Andrew Bamlett, as usual, running the show today. His last day. He's going to be taking a couple days off, needed days off, if you ask me, and have a nice long weekend. And belated happy anniversary to you and your wife, Bamlett. Congratulations. And again, you guys deserve some time to yourselves. Hopefully you can get away from the Bamlett barn a little bit. I don't know where you can go.
I don't know.
Maybe just circle the block a few times or something.
I said we'll trade places with my mom. She can stay here and we'll just go to her house. Then at least we're alone.
That whatever works.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah. If it's me, I just go hide in the woods.
There you go.
But that's that's me. Excuse me. We have a busy show today. Andrew's getting me all choked up. He's a good guy there. We have a busy show. I don't get too much more time to talk here. We got your Fitchburg road construction update. A lot of moving pieces happening with closures. We'll get to that in just a minute. Plus, we check in with Fitchburg EMS talking about QI reports. And you're going to learn how the data helps drive the services that Fitchburg provides. It's a great information, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, we get to your headlines. We start with the Fitchburg Fire Department receiving a global grant. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Due to COVID-19 physical distancing restriction, FM Global representatives were available in the spirit with when Chief Joe Polmacher and firefighter Adam Dorn accepted the grant award. The award will be used to assist with the routine fire inspections in the community. These inspections are an opportunity for our fire department to educate members of the Fitchburg business community on everyday fire safety and how to best keep their employees, customers, and residents safe. Because fire continues to be the leading cause of property damage worldwide during the past 40 years, FM Global has contributed to millions of dollars in fire prevention grants to fire service organizations around the globe. Pretty cool, and congratulations to the Fitchburg Fire Department. We'll talk with the Fitchburg Fire Department coming up in the month of November, and we'll get you the latest on that cool grant. All right, Fitchburg Center Farmers Market happening on Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. I also want to note that due to COVID concerns, there'll be no indoor market for 2020. That just came out. So due to COVID concerns, no indoor market for 2020. So you better show up to this one because this potentially can be the final market for the year. All right. Sorry. That's all we had time for headlines. We'll take a quick break. Coming up next, we've got your construction update from Bill Balke right here on Talking Fitchburg.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Fitchburg EMS, Deputy Chief Jeff Doslick. Jeff, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Good morning. How are you? How's everyone?
I'm doing how's it good? Jeff, appreciate you joining in today. And today we're going to be talking about QI reports.
My favorite topic in EMS.
Oh, I bet it is. Start off with telling us what is a QI report first and foremost?
Sure.
Why it's important.
So we look at QI or use QI in order to kind of establish and improve the services that we're providing. It comes in all different forms, from just basic, numbers that we can see trends or just looking at EMS reports to see if we're actually providing the care that our protocols, ask us to provide, or we're doing a good job, or we're not, and taking that information back to the staff and developing training around the stuff that needs improvement. And our QI program here is pretty robust. We tend to tweak it occasionally to make sure that we're catching all the things that we need to catch. But we use QI in order to improve the services that we provide our citizens, in order to provide training or establish training benchmarks for the department, and use those benchmarks against other services of similar size in the county.
Yeah, it's very, very important stuff. Definitely, if you're looking at trends and whatnot. We've got the report here, and it's very fascinating, Jeff. We'll go through this section by section here.
Sure.
Starting with the incident volume by year. We know that this has been going up for quite a bit of time, but boy, when does it stop, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know. When I retire.
When you retire.
Call volume is definitely on the increase, and I know that the chief, projects a 3 or 4% increase in call volume every year. Certainly month to month, and we'll see that a little bit later on in the report, but certainly month to month compared to last year, we've definitely increased. So the report that I think you'll probably pull up shows us through August 31st of this year, in comparison to 2018 and 2019. And obviously you can see between those 2 years and what we've done this year, there's almost a 150 call increase. And that's not going to stop. We anticipate 3,500 calls this year, and we're on track for that.
Yeah, that's a lot of calls, and even as you're looking here, if you're looking from 2019 to 2020, and you're saying, well, it's 200 plus calls. Is that a lot? That's a lot of extra calls. I mean,
Right.
When you think of the ambulance leaving, whether they're going to transport a patient or return back to the barn, that's a pretty substantial amount. Also, Jeff, looking here by the age, also. Very fascinating indeed. Kind of puts a perspective on the city as far as young, old, where we lie. But what do you, as you look at these numbers, what do you think by the age group? What stands out to you?
Yeah, so I think the thing that stands out to me is that age group of 60 to 69 and higher. Obviously, that is the a lot of our call volume in the area is going to be our older population, and that tends to be for most of the organizations in Dane County tends to be the same age group. We do get some of those younger calls as well. Those tend to, if you look to the right, those tend to fall into some of the higher categories that you might see in the primary provider impression. But for that older population, those older adults, we tend to see those respiratory emergencies, falls, some of the other mobility concerns. And so, yeah, that always jumps out to us. And that's why I think when we look at gearing our outreach, we go to the senior centers, we do in-home visits for our dementia patients in order to try and, manage that population a little bit more and be attentive to their needs.
Yeah, it's that right there in itself helps on the training, helps on the outreach, helps the programming that we talk about every month here on TF. So certainly big numbers there. Yeah, we've got the month to month in the next section, and by ambulance, I guess 44 just gets out the door just a tiny bit more than everybody else.
Yeah, just a little bit. When we looked at, putting that third ambulance up, you could take, 44 and add the 43 calls onto that, so, almost 1,300 calls or so. Although by, definition, it's not really a large amount, but the amount of district that we cover in Fitchburg, from one end to the other, that third station was really important to make sure that we had coverage over on that side of town and decrease our response times over there. And certainly it's balanced out the call volume in Fitchburg. The other thing I think is important to note is, 45 is the ambulance that is down in Verona. Knowing that, the city of Verona is covered, about 90% of the time, if not more, where without having that third station up there, Fitchburg was out a lot. This ambulance down here in Verona was going up to Fitchburg, and we just weren't really doing a good job of managing the area that we have. Adding that third station was really important to do that. So we use those numbers to determine, what we're looking for as far as adding additional resources, what staff is going to look like in the future, and we trend that stuff out. 47 and 46 are backup units. So if one of the other primary units is out of service, we take those two ambulances. So that's why you see call volume in those sections. It's not that we have 5 ambulances running around the district. We have 3. But if we have one of those ambulances, like currently 44 is out of service, so 46 is the primary ambulance, you'll see those numbers start to go up as those units are used.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting to that perspective, and especially on the Verona versus Fitchburg, that call volume, and seeing 43 really pick up on that is again showing it in the numbers. It definitely stands out for sure. Trending down here, then this is the first thing that I pointed out to you, because I remember running on the ambulance, and I rode a Thursday afternoon from noon to 6 p.m. And boy, does that one stand out at a hot 119. But internally we laugh about this a little bit because which crew picks up the most calls, and very interesting how that trends out. You think maybe weekends, maybe Friday nights. I don't know, but this maybe this proves a little bit different. How do you look at these numbers and say,
Yeah, so looking at that incident time and date breakdown, with the 3 ambulances in service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you saw the call volume, a few minutes ago. But as we move forward in adding resources and looking at when we should put those resources on the street, instead of just, carte blanche adding a 24-hour ambulance, hiring 7 people and putting it out there, we will look at the incident date and time breakdown to see if there's a peak time during the course of the day where those ambulances would be more beneficial and handle the overload. We haven't trended this, and maybe we should. When all of our units are busy at the same time, is there a time where we're at what I would call status 0, where if another call came in, who's coming into the district, or how is that call being handled? We don't have a lot of that status 0 often. We do occasionally, but that graph right there would allow us to be able to trend out when our busiest times are going to be, and if we're going to add resources, when those resources would be added to the schedule. And if we didn't trend that out, then we really wouldn't know, and we just throw an ambulance up and it may not be at the right time.
Do crews get to, I think I look at these numbers and say, I worked on a volunteer service, so there may have been different crews even serving, different shifts. But if somebody gets stuck, if the same crew on the same Thursday gets stuck over and over again with picking up a lot of calls, like, are you guys able to step in and say, maybe we should give these guys a break or something? Does that play in at all to any of your thinking?
Yeah, we haven't, at this point, our call volume, it's 119 calls over the course of, 3/4 of the year. We haven't really gotten to the point where we've had to pull people out the ambulance because they've been overly busy, call. The things that we do look for, we do limit their amount of time that they can work in a row. So we limit 48 hours in a stretch. They have to have 12 hours off before they can actually pull up another shift. So we do limit hours that way. And the other thing that we look at is, have they had, a sentinel event type call during the course of the day that may affect their mental health, and we try to pay really close attention to that as well. Can always get better at that, but we do pay close attention to that. And if somebody needs to go home, we may take the unit out of service until we find a replacement to come in and do that. Fortunately, we haven't had that situation, at least since I've been here. But yeah, I mean, as far as pulling them off the street because they're too busy, no.
Well, and true. I think it's again, laughing about it because it's a lot. It's a lot for anybody. But yeah, when you spread it out, certainly doesn't look as bad. But what is the record for days call? Like how many calls have you taken in one day with all ambulances in service?
Wow, I probably have to look at that. I've been here where we've had a 15, 16 call day. And that was with 2 ambulances prior to our 3rd ambulance going into service. And, and some people think that, well, let's say the crew only did 5 calls. Well, a call, if you really look at it, a call is about an hour, or an hour and a half. So in the course of your day, you're doing almost 8-9 hours of patient care. That doesn't include finishing the report. That doesn't include restocking the ambulance. All the station duties that have to go around. So if you have a call volume that's, greater than, 6 or 7 or 8 during the day, you're working almost close to 16 hours of patient care. Sometimes those are easy transports, and sometimes they're very involved, and they take a lot of, physical work, and they take a lot of mental capacity as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you breaking that down. I find it fascinating from being in that position, and I'm thinking at most I may have had an 8-call weekend where you're working a Saturday through a Sunday night type of deal, but that definitely isn't a lot. Hey, we're out of time, Jeff. We'll pick back up more on this report, and thank you again for your time as always, and a special thank you again to your crew out there. You're all doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it. The crews do an awesome job. We appreciate all their hard work. We use this report to take to our commission and the municipalities, and we certainly appreciate all the support that they give us. And we provide the numbers and and our thoughts on what I think should happen. And we've been very fortunate to be able to move the service forward over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and that's due to our staff. That's due to our municipalities being supportive of us.
Yeah, well, Jeff, thank you again so much for the information, and we'll talk to you real soon.
You bet.
All right, Jeff Doslick, Fitchburg EMS. We'll check back with him again, and hopefully we can pick up more on this report. Very great information to get out to y'all out there. All right, take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today for your Fitchburg road construction update, it's Bill Bulkey. Bill, how you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm living the dream, my friend, and I'm ready to talk some construction with you. We've got a lot of stuff wrapping up, as we've talked the last couple of weeks. Paving is the name of the game right now, and we have a big paving closure happening this weekend, which we'll get to on Mckee Road. But first, we'll focus our attention on Hatchery Road project. What do we got going on that corridor?
Today and tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, or actually Tuesday, Wednesday now, Um, we are paving through the Post Road intersection there. So that's going to experience a closure at this time, just so that we can get it, really good and nice and smooth for everyone. And we'll continue the paving from Greenway Cross down to Post Road, and then Post Road to Traceway, finishing up those surfaces. Yeah, they'll finish that up this week. We'll be switching traffic over to the new pavement on the 3rd, which is, I think, Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure. It's on the 3rd. We're planning on switching the traffic over and then completing up the paving of Greenway Cross later that week, next week.
Yeah, will they continue to do any other construction then through November as they wrap things up here, or are we just kind of shutting it down once this gets wrapped up?
No, there's still going to be some work that's being done in the median area along Hatchery Road, curb and gutter. There's a little bit of paving that needs to finish up, and then it's going to open back up to full lanes of traffic by, I think, mid-November. And everything should be back to normal. They are planning on doing a little bit of work down at the Mckee Road intersection to prepare for next year. So there'll be some construction down there, but it won't impact traffic.
Yeah, and then, like I said, we continue on to the next part next year, and we'll certainly spend time over the winter getting everybody prepared as that next phase gets started there. So we'll check in on that project next week then, as things again continue to wrap up. Any other pieces on Hatchery Road, or should we take a ride over to Mckee?
Let's go over to Mckee.
We're getting better and smoother at this. I'm telling you. All right, the Mckee Road. We've got a big closure coming up, and it's going to happen or happen on this Saturday. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, we're going to be closing certain parts of Mckee Road off actually Friday, Saturday, and Monday. So we've got a map that shows which closures are going to happen, what the detours are. So it'd be best to check that out online or through PAC TV.
Hey, guess what, Bill? We're going to put them up as you're talking. So if you want to go through each one of these maps and kind of tell us what's going on, I've got that up, and we can do that page by page.
Right. So we have 3 closures that are coming up. The orange will be on Friday, the yellow will be on Monday, and the green will be on Saturday.
Oh my goodness, that's 3 days of fun right there.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're just running into really cold temperatures, so we have to try to get out there as long as we can and get things paved. So it's we got to break it up over 3 days.
Fantastic. As far as looking again at the closures and the detours then related to this, break it down for us.
So on Friday, when we're doing the orange section, that's going to be between Commerce Park Drive and essentially over by the theater there on the north side of the road. We're going to have a detour that goes up to Williamsburg Way, back down to Mckee. So you can see that magenta route as a detour. You'll still be able to go eastbound heading into Fitchburg, no problem. But just for that westbound lane, we're going to be detouring that.
Fantastic. And then moving on to the next closure.
That would be the Saturday closure. Again, we're going to try to start as early as we can as temperatures allow. And this one's going to be a bigger detour around the area because it's at the intersection of Seminole Highway and Mckee Road. There's no way around, keeping it open to traffic while we're doing the paving. So we do have to detour that around. Set up on Sub-Zero Parkway, essentially, Commerce Park Drive, Sub-Zero Parkway, down to Lacey and Hatchery Road.
Yeah, and you're cognizant of the Halloween happening on Saturday as well. So safety definitely is a priority here for keeping everybody safe. It is important to take these detours and not be cutting through some of our neighborhoods as this construction goes on. Correct? Correct.
And there are neighborhood routes, obviously north-south routes that you can connect up and get around the area of construction. But we'd encourage you to try to stay on those main roads, just as there are a lot of potential trick-or-treaters out there during the 5 to 7 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. Is that this is showing a little bit closer view here of that closure on Saturday, correct?
Right. Yeah, Seminole Highway again. We'd prefer you take alternate routes to get around that area if you can, because it does cut through a highly residential neighborhood. But if you have to go through there, be aware there will be flag people there to slow traffic down, and watch out for anybody who might be out on the road.
All right, perfect. And then backing up here to the earlier one, I believe, is this the Friday edition?
This would be the Monday one, actually.
Blew it, Monday one. I knew it was the Monday one. It was always the Monday.
That section they're going to be paving between Commerce Park Drive and Seminole Highway. And the detour will be down Commerce Park Drive, Sub-Zero, back up Seminole again to resume your traffic there.
And these are the final layers of paving, is that correct?
That's correct. They'll be doing the pavement marking too if temperatures allow. So they may keep it closed a little bit longer just to be able to get that down under traffic control.
All right, fantastic. Final thoughts on the McKee project. Anything else we need to be aware of? That's a lot of information already.
Yeah, we're wrapping things up. The area over by Verona Road is getting completed pretty soon here. So hopefully within the next few weeks, everything will be back to normal-ish.
Ish has become one of your favorite words, I bet, during this construction season, Bill. All right, do want to check in on a project that you made aware of us last week, and that's at Lacey and Seminole Highway. Got some work going on there. Tell us what's going on. It looks like some pretty deep holes when I drove through there.
Yeah, we're connecting up to our sanitary interceptor sewer that goes through there, and extending the sanitary sewer across Seminole Highway along Lacey Road to the west or to the east to serve the new subdivisions that are going in there. They'll be out there working for the next 3-4 weeks. They're going to drill under Seminole Highway, so that's not going to get interrupted for traffic or anything. But we do have the Badger State Trail closed currently with a detour around that for just that trail.
Yeah, I see that leads right up to that. So trying to definitely be aware of construction vehicles in that area as well, as they have to park pretty close on Lacey and Seminole. Any other information on that project?
Not that I'm aware of.
Fantastic. And finally, any other projects we need to discuss for this week?
Nope, we're just wrapping things up. Lots of blacktop going down and the final inspections, so we're pretty busy out there yet.
Busy is your middle name, Bill. That's all I know. So, Bill, thank you so much for the update. Appreciate the time breaking it down. Please be careful this weekend as you're navigating. For all of the road construction, be careful and watch out for the men and women that are out there. They want to go home just as much as you do every night. So please be safe. And Bill, you be safe as well, right?
I will. Thank you, Jeremy.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Bill Balke, our Public Works Director. Always appreciate his time. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching TF.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
All right, welcome back. That's it for the show. It was a busy one. We told you it was going to be busy. Of course, we want to thank our guests, as always, Fitchburg EMS, and, of course, Bill Balke, Foreign Public Works. Have a great day, everybody. See you back here tomorrow.